So welcome everyone to the Fibromyalgia and Chronic Pain group. We've got myself and Marianne from Doncaster in today, and we've also got Baz here today who's going to give you some hints and tips on mindfulness. So I will pass over to you, Baz.
Hello, can everybody hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Right, okay. I'm going to switch my video off because my camera doesn't have my face, I don't think, so I'm going to switch off, yeah? Okay, can you hear me now?
Perfect
Yeah?
now.
So, yeah, I'm sure my camera doesn't like my face, does it? So, okay, well, today the talk's going to be about meditation. I don't know if anybody has actually met me before. Okay, if you can have a bit of yes or no's, if that's all right.
I can't hear you.
Yes, right, okay. Sorry, what was that? Right, sorry. Can you hear me? Everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Right, okay, sorry about that. Right, okay then. So, yeah, basically we'll be talking about meditation. Before we start anything, what I'd like everybody to do is, we're just going to do a little exercise where you're just going to close your eyes for 1 minute, and we're just going to take it from there, if that's all right. So I'm going to start my clock now, and if everybody could just close your eyes for just 1 minute, please. Okay, thank you very much for that. I forgot to say thank you very much for everybody for attending as well, the session. Basically, in this minute that you've all just just to close your eyes and just have a little focus, I'm not going to ask everybody what they've been thinking about, obviously, but all I can say is the mind, the brain works really, really fast on a daily basis. When you've just closed your eyes, if you didn't focus on anything, basically you'd find that your thoughts were all over the place, maybe thinking about work, or thinking about, you know, what your current situation is, health-wise, stress, anxiety. But the whole idea, what I'm trying to capture is basically, like I said, the life in itself can be quite, you know, pressurizing in itself. So, you know, people think that, you know, when we have a rest as well, when we go to sleep, you think to yourself, oh, that's the point where you're going to be relaxing. And this is where we get dreams as well, where we're in overthinking mode. And your brain's actually still working, and you'll still find where you'll go to sleep and you have a good 8-hour sleep as well, and you wake up and you still feel that tiredness or grogginess, and that's because your brain is actually overworking as well. So coming into meditation wise, the thing I like to give an example of is, like, you know, life in general. It's just like a movie basically, where you'll start the film and it'll go for a good 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, and that's just what life is as well, where we've got a beginning. Since we've, you know, got to a point where we have a self-realization about life in general, and your brain's really working hard, your heart is, all your nerves and nervous system is working, and basically you don't have a break from it. Even when we sleep, like I'm saying, you're not actually fully resting. Your brain is actually pausing, and this is what meditation does. It gives you a pause point where, just as you pause a movie, have a little break, and then you can get ready to go again. That's what meditation does. So it's all about finding a focal point as well. So how we're going to do this next exercise now, I want you to do is, basically, I want you to close your eyes, and this time we're going to do it for a minute. But what I want everybody to do is, please, is that take a deep breath and hold it for 3 seconds, and then breathe out again and hold that for 3 seconds, and then breathe again, 3 seconds, breathe in, and then that's breathe out again, hold it for 3 seconds. So we're going to do this continuously, but count the 3 in your head. But what you need to be doing is focusing just on your breath only. So if we can all start doing that. So basically what you're going to do is take a deep breath, count in your head, 1, 2, 3, then breathe out again, 1, 2, 3, breathe in again, and so on. And then basically that's what we're going to just try this now, exercise people. But remember, the trick being is that your mind will actually wither away. You'll be thinking about all your thoughts while you're doing that within that 1 minute. But the trick being is that you have to say to yourself, my name is Baz. Baz, come on now. You're doing this, only this focus in this moment in time. You need to be concentrate on your breathing. And that's what we're going to try and do for ourselves. Just always try and bring your mind back onto your breathing. So we're going to start that about now, please. Okay, thank you very much for that. Can anybody who's got the guts ready to come forward, and anybody tell me if they found anything different from the first exercise? So this second exercise, please. Can you hear me? Everybody hear me? Yeah, anybody? No?
I felt the first exercise, the second exercise, sorry, was much more calming than the first.
Yeah, anybody else?
I already do this when I can't sleep. I do the counting and it helps me drop off to sleep. So I found it really beneficial.
No, that's brilliant. So you're basically already in that sort of line, doing that, and that's really good. Have we actually met before?
No.
No, okay. So now, well, everybody does their sort of meditation in their own way, and there's no right or wrong way about it. It's whatever suits yourself. I mean, in this case, this works for myself, so that's why I'm just sharing that with yourself. So there's nothing to stop you doing what you're doing. That's brilliant. Now, what important information I'm going to give you is that when should we do this meditation? Now, we look at this, there's a scientific thing which has been proven. It's called the ambrosial hour, which is something between 3 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the morning, so between 3 and 6. Now, what scientifically is being proven is that the body has a hypothermal glands in your body, which is just near in your brain. And what that does is it actually controls all your moods, as in like, you know, you digest your food and just general, you know, your mood, anxiety levels, it controls all that, and all your nervous system. And now what it is, there's a pituitary gland, which is between your eyes, in the back, just near your brain. It's about the size of a pea. Now what that does is that actually controls your hypothalamus glands as well, and it releases hormones in your body. Now when we're happy and you feel in a good mood, when you go on a holiday and the sun's out and you just feel this really nice buzz, that's what happens is this hypothalamus gland, this pituitary gland, sorry, releases these hormones in your body, and you just feel so relaxed and happy. And this is what happens when we relate to our previous experiences, like holidays and Christmas and birthdays and good memories. This is what happens. These hormones are released in our bodies, which make us feel happy, and you know, obviously in that moment. Now, meditation as well. If you wake up within that time, I don't know how everybody's lifestyle is, how busy it is, but if you can get up in the morning between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock, which might be hard at the first, but for yourself, it's more beneficial. generally it's been proven scientifically that your body throughout the day, when you have good days as well, the hormones that it releases, you can release up to 7 or 8 of these hormones in your body, which have some good benefits to your body. But if you wake up within the ambrosial hour between 3 and 6 o'clock, when you meditate, your body will release anything up to 18 hormones in your body. And then basically what that does is it actually covers probably about 20 different illnesses, and it actually helps you, you know, obviously avoid getting them illnesses as well. And that's just for the sake of you waking up in that time frame, and meditating. I've spoken to just some colleagues prior to this on another lecture, but they was asking me the questions about you know, whether about taking medication as well when they wake up. That's entirely up to yourself. You can do however you do your normal routine, that's fine. All it's doing is, at that time, is your brain is actually, your body is actually waking up before your brain is. So because if you're in a normal routine where you wake up at 9, 10 o'clock, because you're waking up so early, your mind will still think you're asleep, but then it gives you a better chance to actually focus on your meditation as well. Obviously, it's more quieter, that most of the world is asleep, even the birds are asleep at that time. It's just so calm and tranquil at that time, and you can actually focus for yourself. So yeah, and like you said, it becomes a baseline that when you do have bouts where you're a bit anxieties levels are high, or you've got a stressful moment come, because you build a baseline by regularly doing this meditation, you can refer back to it every time you feel a bit, you know, upset or something, or stressed out. But you need to invest your own time, just as you invest in a business money-wise and you flourish, or you do a bit of exercise and you become fitter, or you eat some good foods and you feel healthier. That's how you need to, this 2-minute meditation that you've done now, what you need to be working on is that eventually you do it for a week for 2 minutes every day, then do it up it to 3 or 4 minutes, then 5, then 10, and then we're trying to aim for that you try do a session for about half an hour, and that's where you'll see the big difference. Now, what I've seen, and it's a testament to me, is that my own wife basically has fibromyalgia. Now, she used to have bags and bags full of medication, and because we, thank God, do this meditation, and obviously along with side with a bit more, you know, putting some restriction in place where, you know, eating healthy food, doing a bit of exercise, and you know, it's gone down to less than half a bag, even less than that of her medication. Sorry. So you know, it will help. It will have some benefits, but it's something that you have to invest your time in to actually get a result out of it. So yeah, so that's about it really. I mean, any sort of questions? No?
I was just wanting to know how you've answered that, how long you do it for, because I wasn't sure. I've only tried it a couple of times, so obviously now I know. I do tend to wake up actually between 3 and 4 every morning, so I'll try that.
No, that's brilliant. I mean, what you can do is, it differs to everybody, but if you get to a point where you sit sort of like in a symmetrical posture and maybe sit on the floor cross legs, that's if it's comfortable for yourself. I know a lot of people have got some problems, as in the fibromyalgia as well. If you can't, then that's fine. But if you can, it's just more beneficial to yourself. Sit on the floor, cross-legged, and just close your eyes, and then just start to take your deep breathing, listen to yourself like we just did, practiced, and eventually it'll take its toll. It's something that I can't say for each individual person. It's something that they have to invest the time in to actually get the result out of it. You know, it's surprising how this day and age, I speak to colleagues and I say to them, do the meditation, and I say to them, when I come back to them, I say, did you do it? And so, sorry, I didn't have any time. And people haven't got, never mind 24 hours, 12 hours, 6 hours, cut it down all the way to 1 hour. Nobody's got time like 1 hour to give to themselves. So this is just 2 minutes out of your 24 hours that you're giving to yourself, which hopefully will accumulate up to half an hour, and then you will see the benefits. But like Dr. Faye, this is just like the first stage of meditation, and there's more things that we need to involve, but we need to take one thing at a time. And I just all I can humbly request to everybody that if you try it yourself, and then you will see the difference within even a week or two, and then we can go to the next stage. But that's if you know, if you feel happy to do so.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions?
I was just wondering, I know you've obviously said about doing it early in the morning between 3 and 6. Are there any other times of the day that you could recommend doing it? Or if you were doing it more than once a day? Or is that the next stage of the meditation, as you say?
No, it's a very good question. No, meditation is something you can do anytime. It's just like I said, you know, when you just have a good thought about, I don't know, people you love, and that brings inside your body hormone, your chemistry in your body changes because you feel happy remembering somebody you loved or you care for, or any experience that you've had, a good experience like holiday or something like that. That's what you're doing. The only reason I'd say in the morning is that you will get the more health benefits out of it in that slot. But surely you can do meditation as many times as you want throughout the day. You get a few minutes from your work's break or anything like that, and just sit down, do your meditation. And the more you do it, it's becoming more relaxing for your own body. You know, you're bringing your own body to a baseline, and it's going to have long-term health, you know, benefits to yourself. Rather than, if you can imagine that instead of utilizing them 2 minutes to be stressed out about work or life or in general, you're utilizing them minutes to actually focus in your own self, in tune with yourself. Yeah, a bit of me time. That's going to actually have more chances of having benefits than, you know, negative effects. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. No, I get that, because one thing when you were asking about the difference between the first time and the first time, as someone who's not really done this before, it was quite uncomfortable.
Yeah, okay.
And about, but with the second time when you're doing the counting and you're focusing on that, yeah, is it just something you have to get used to, kind of, and then it becomes?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Sorry to stop you there. Yeah, it's something that it'll become a pattern, a routine for yourself. Some people might even think it's a bit, you know, cheesy what we're doing, but if you want something in life for yourself, for your own benefit, you will have to give that time yourself. Yeah. And like you said, yeah, once you've done it, I mean, the next stages would be, you know, which I'd like to not talk about now, but first we need to get our breathing patterns in line, sort of thing, so you get used to it, that yeah, you are happy with it. I'm doing breathing exercises, it's starting to work for me, and then we can take it to the next stage, you know, which I'll talk about to you guys whenever, you know, meet again. But yeah, first it's about trying to give yourself a bit of discipline to say, yeah, I'm going to give myself 2 minutes a day or 5 minutes a day, whatever you feel comfortable. It doesn't have to be that you give yourself 2 minutes straight away. You can give yourself a minute if you feel uncomfortable, or even give yourself 5 minutes if you feel more comfortable. But the only reason why we say 2 minutes is just that you get a bit used to it, and it starts becoming, you wean it onto yourself slowly but surely. And like you said, the question, do it anytime, whichever time you feel you've got a moment to yourself. Instead of the whole idea is, like I mentioned to Faye earlier and the previous lecture, we are so focused in today's technology and you know, items such as iPads and mobile phones. We're draining our energy when we're actually focusing on phones and things and watching TV. You don't realize you're not actually relaxing. Your brain is actually working more because you're focusing with your eyes. Your brain's trying to engage into the actual program, whatever. It's not actually relaxing. So this is why meditation helps. You cut yourself off totally from the outside world, and you focusing within yourself, your own soul. It's a bit more of a spiritual thing as well. And even if people don't feel the health benefits from it, then you will feel happy and energetic. It's just, the example I can give is, it's like a mobile phone. If the battery's dying on it, you just plug it into the socket for about even 5 minutes and you're ready to go. You could even last the whole day. And that's what meditation will do for you, that you, just by giving yourself that 2 minutes early morning, you'll feel so energetic, you'll feel happy in yourself. You know, you'll feel healthier within yourself by just giving yourself that time. Like we said, you don't have to do it early morning if you're going to find it uncomfortable. Again, start off when you wake up, and then try and work backwards to say, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to wake up at, I'll wake it up 10 o'clock. I'll try, you know, 9 tomorrow, and then 8. And the earlier you get, all I'm saying is that within that hour slot, that time frame, it's being scientifically proven that this is what it does to your body. The hormones are released and it can have more health benefits. That's all it is. But even if you don't get to get up that time, you're surely going to see some plus points by just doing the meditation.
And like you were saying about, like, you're watching telly and your phone, it's funny how a minute can pass by so quickly, or even half an hour or even an hour when you sat watching telly or scrolling through your phone. But we all struggle to find that 1 minute just to do 3 seconds in and 3 seconds out. And last week we had IAPT, and we were talking about pacing and stuff like that. So maybe, I don't know, Baz, maybe your wife might be able to be an example of this, but would that help with people with fibromyalgia? Again, I'm not a specialist at all, and everybody who's on are the specialists because they suffer with it. But if, for example, whilst they were doing the pacing, if they took that 1 minute to do some meditation, just a simple breathe in, breathe out, would you say that would help, or would you say that would be too much? Say, for example, if it's like last week, the one about pacing, you're doing so much and then you rest, and then you do so much and then you rest. During that rest, would that meditation help, or do you think it'd be every so often, or just once in the morning, once at night?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I can't really, relate to that, because I've not known how people work with this pacing. And the only thing I know is that meditation is something that you need to give it like your full 100% when you're doing it. And now what happens is, when you've built that baseline, that you are comfortable with it after you've done it a few weeks, a month, and you think, yeah, you know what, I'm used to bringing myself down to this certain baseline level. Then you can do whatever you want. You could be eating, walking, talking, then having your few minutes in between. Because you've actually built up something in the first place, then you can actually refer back to it. I wouldn't recommend you do your pacing and do your meditation, alongside with each other while you're trying to learn the meditation side. I would say experience the meditation first, then you can relate to it. And then, what I'm trying to say is, you've actually built up a good background, enough understanding of it, or your body has come to a level where you think, yeah, I'm feeling something, a vibration, a positive vibe, and then you go back to it, rather than trying to get too many things on board at once. The focus won't be really there, I don't think. But that's my personal view. I don't know.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Has anybody got any other questions or comments? No.
Is that a good thing?
I think, yeah. I think it. Well, like I mentioned, the one before, and this one, I personally thought it was really useful, especially because that 1 minute to me, I don't know if people might disagree, but that 1 minute felt like a lifetime when we were doing it. But then when we finished doing the breathing, I woke up and I was like feeling a bit energized just after one simple minute. So, but yeah, thank you ever so much, Baz. If there's no other questions or comments from anyone, I think we'll wrap it up there. Are there any last questions or comments?
Just from me to ask if anyone has any ideas of other people they'd like to hear from, similar to Baz or similar to Kerry last week. Just any subjects you really want to hear about, any questions you have, please just
I'd be interested if there could be some exercise routine for fibro, because I find it difficult to know how much to do and how little to do. I think there's a fine line, and I've crossed it far too many times, and I've ended up being laid up. Yeah. So it's having somebody who's knowledgeable and knowing what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing, because I'm just piling loads of weight on because I'm limited in what I can do exercise. But I find if you stay still too long, you seize up. So it's trying to do something. I do my yoga stretches every day, but I just want to do a little bit more.
There's an exercise teacher in Bentley who has fibromyalgia, so I'll try and see if she can come on and give.
There was talk when I went to the classes before lockdown. They did say there was in talks with trying to get some exercise routine and possibly something in water, which obviously we all said the water needs to be warm, because that's the biggest problem we have with fibro. I can't go into cold water. So I'd really enjoy to do that, do a regular workout.
Yeah,
that's really useful, thank you. Yeah, we'll note that down, and we'll try our best to get someone Is there anybody else who would like something specific as well? It could be as broad as you want, or a particular specialist. No. Well, if you do, in the meantime, between now and a fortnight's time, if you just email the Well Doncaster email, so that's just welldoncaster@doncaster.gov.uk. As well, if you've got any questions for Baz, I'll ping them across to him, and if Baz, if you're happy to, I can pass your number on to them as well if they want some further information.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant.
Brilliant. Well, thank you ever so much, everyone, and thank you for joining today.
I've just put a link up. It's just for, in the meantime, on the NHS they've released some videos of Pilates, which are specifically for MS and fibromyalgia. So can you see the chat? Are you able to click on it on what you're on?
How do you get the chat up again? I forgot.
On the bottom, there's a little. It's next to share screen. There's a little chat button, and then it comes up at the side. But that's for a laptop. I don't know on different.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're interested in looking at Pilates, the NHS have released that video.
If you can't see it, we'll just
That's great.
email and we'll send it to you. Right.
Thank you.
Thank you ever so much, everyone, and we will see you in a fortnight time.